Good evening. It's been a while, but we are back for TML F1. It is season number 9. It is round 6 of the newly reformed championship as we take in, of course, the United States Grand Prix from the circuit of the Americas. My name is James Head. It has been, as I say, an absolute while since we have had a race here in TML F1. It is literally because the attendance is good enough tonight, even though we are still going to have, 10, 11 drivers potentially tonight. Hopefully the track and hopefully the drivers that we do have are going to provide a show for you guys, of course, out on track tonight, with, of course, sprint and feature race up on the line as well. It should make for a very fascinating 2 races here in the United States. Mike, by the way, is sadly ill tonight, and he is not going to be joining me tonight. We hope that he is going to be ready for tomorrow, and if he is ready for tomorrow, then, of course, it will be myself and him in F2, taking through the action, of course, for TML F2 tomorrow night. But we are here, as I say, tonight for the United States Grand Prix. Good evening to everyone that is tuning in to the chat. As I say, it has been a very long time since we have had racing out on track on a Thursday night on League Racing TV, but we are back. Hopefully not for the one and final week of this season, but hopefully we are back for good, and hopefully, like Take That, we're going to reunite in terms of the racing out on track. If you weren't with us in France, well, first of all, where the hell were you? Because it was probably race of the season. And second of all, Lynx leads the championship on 97 points. Felix has got a golden opportunity tonight to actually take the championship lead on 93 points there in second. Carmento's there in third on 70. Black Box, who's racing tonight, in fourth on 65. Jensen in fifth on 60. Tom in sixth on 56. And they are all competing tonight. And then we've got Andres in seventh on 56 also. Stenrees in eighth on 49. Tom in ninth on 48. And Chris there in 10th on 45 points. Denzo, Yona, Yeri Van Bussel, Justin Tam, top 15. Samu Vajaku are the 17 on my list, and then Tim Wenting, Sergeant K, Blacks top 20, Atlas Copel, Delphi, Macho, Mad Jonas, Neymar top 25, and then Kaya, Ivan Tonchik, and Harry Banks have so far scored points this season. Bacon, Metisi, Mitwi, Dara, Ruti, and Lucas so far haven't raced or haven't scored points. We have got a new man in as well in NLR Keki, who did produce a very good performance around here in FRL a couple of weeks ago, which I commentated on, and hopefully we are going to see some really good out on track as well. And we are hoping, as I say, for some really good action, of course, out on track. To run through the constructor standings as well, while we've got a little bit of time, the final preparations are just beginning there in the chat. We've potentially got to have another driver in as well. Slicer in the chat already saying that Keki will win. Could do. He is a very quick man, and hopefully he'll be one to watch out for, as I think I've broken the live chat, if I'm not mistaken. There we are. There it is, and you can't hear me twice, which is what you want, but I will run through the constructor standings for you guys, and the constructor standings are as follows. AlphaTauri lead the way on 132 points, Red Bull in second on 106, Mercedes in third on 104, Alfa Romeo in fourth on 93, Alpine fifth on 81, along with Haas also on 81 there in sixth, Aston Martin seventh on 76, McLaren in eighth on 72, Ferrari in ninth on 61, and Williams in 10th on 52 points, 80 points covering all constructors, which is actually quite mad, considering we've only had 5 races this season, of considering we have had quite a few drivers potentially in as well. Black Box, I'm not sure where he might be. He has put down that he is racing. I'm not sure if he is on his way. I hope he is, because he might have a really good chance of running potentially out on track as well. Yeah, I thought the race would be off. Only like 10 people. I know. Burmeister is the one that we have got in tonight. I think it's one of Harry Banks' fellow league racers, so we are getting him in as well. So he is going to be racing tonight, which is good. And obviously, the way things are in TML F1, TML F2, by the way, is absolutely fine in terms of attendance. This is probably the best we might get all season in terms of TML F1. There are various options that I've actually tried to explore as me being league director and pretty much leading this from the front at this stage. Literally, all I've tried to do is try and get the races on every single week. 2 weeks ago, we had 9 drivers down to attend. Wasn't enough attendance from my perspective. Then we had 7 last week, so we thought, oh, tonight is going to be, well, even less. But, to my surprise, we have got 10 drivers in, which is, I think, really good. And, obviously, it speaks to the characteristics of every single one of these drivers that is turning up tonight to turn up to race, and honestly to try and give a really, really good race for you guys. Of course, it is sprint race and feature race. These 10 drivers are very, very good at what they do. Some of them, of course, are in esports challenges, or going to be in esports challenges in the next month. But we are going to begin, and I can report that. Yeah, give me thingy. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm going to tell the guys to ready up. Sorry, guys, because I'm having to try and do... Oh, goodness me. Yeah, we can ready up. We can ready up. It is absolutely fine. And as I say, hopefully we are going to get some really good racing out on track. Name changer there in the Aston Martin. And we are now good to go. Yes, it's only 10 drivers. People are probably going to turn around and say, oh, it's only 10 drivers. Could you not done any better? We really couldn't. We really couldn't in this stage. And it was either this or cancel the race. And to be honest, these guys have shown up pretty much in the attendance every single week in recent weeks. And obviously try and reward them with a bit of racing out on track. It is not ideal for anyone. Not ideal for me commentating. Not ideal for me from a league director's perspective. Not ideal for these drivers out on track. But we have to make the most of a very bad situation. And just try and literally go with what we've got at this stage, and hopefully we are going to be rewarded out on track with some really good racing out on track here with only 10 drivers. And as I say, Blackbox, if he does decide to join, okay, we can delay 5 minutes if we really want to. Blackbox is on his way. I believe is on his way. Yeah, we can delay 5 minutes. I'm more than happy to delay 5 minutes. Obviously, with the sprint race and the feature race, might take a little bit longer. Might mean that Felix has to go just before 9:30. It shouldn't really run over, I don't think, in terms of time. But we are going to get Blackbox in. It is going to be 11 drivers, which is, as I say, the best we can hope for in a very poor situation. And a situation that is reflected not really in the top leagues. PSGL, FT that I've been doing has had full attendances. Everyone has been committed for that. WR, console tiers, they've had really good attendances, up 16, 17, 18 drivers, even full grids when I've actually covered them in recent weeks. And smaller leagues, like us, do suffer the consequences, unfortunately, and that is just simply why the game, I think, should be better. The game, I think, should be really, really out there, I think, in terms of trying to promote all of these smaller leagues and trying to promote all of this good racing. And hopefully, as I say, we are going to get racing out on track. Tom is delighted in the Discord, saying we're going to have 11 drivers instead of 10. Yeah, it's like breaking the bank, I think, in terms of the record books here in TML. It's probably the highest attendance I think we've had seriously all season, apart from the merge that we did, which nearly had a full grid in Spain. But yeah, as I say, it's not ideal for anyone, and I do really appreciate every single one of you for tuning in, every single one of the drivers out on track as well. It's just that to their commitment that I say thank you so much for them to race. And as I say, we are waiting on Blackbox to join, and then we will be good to go with only 11 drivers out on track. So, while I see what's going on in the chat, I will try and take you through, of course, what is going to be going on out on track. Jerry, unfortunately, can't race. I think Midwee can't race either. I think Jerry, if I'm not mistaken, might be in CTC. And Midwee, I think, was the only one put down as a question mark. So he potentially could race as well. There's a couple of drivers I know that's doing CTC tonight, which is why they're not attending. Which, to be honest, I totally understand. It is a team event at the end of the day. It is a prize pool. Better than us, of course. We're giving away, of course, the next level racing rigs. But it is hopefully going to be rewarded for these guys out on track. As I say, if we get to a stage where it is not going to be viable to run F1, then obviously F1 will not be run for the rest of the season. Could be the final race. I can't really define it. I hope that the people see TML F1 live this week for drivers who aren't attending this week. They see this live and they think, oh, TML is still going. I need to go. There is Black Box. He's just joining in the McLaren, and we will be good to go with 11 drivers out on track. And Black Box, of course, is one of the leading championship contenders coming in tonight as well. And it really does give, actually, with now the ready up signal, we can go. If you are listening, by the way, in the chat, any drivers that might be listening on in the background, yes, we can go, and it will be a very much delighted sight, from my perspective at least, to see racing here in TML F1. TML F2, by the way, will remain unaffected if we do decide to cancel or to cut short the F1 season. F2, because we have had really good attendance in F2, they will be, of course, continuing on. I think there's 12, 13 drivers currently down to attend for an F2 driver. My Discord keeps crashing, which is not ideal, because I was going to try and tell the drivers to ready up at this stage. But yeah, we are pretty much ready to go. And actually, apparently it's going to be 12 drivers. Apparently 12. Yona, I believe, is getting somebody else in, maybe from the League Racing community somewhere, hopefully. Hopefully. We really do, I think, need to put out on Grid Finder and SimGrid and places like that, I think, in terms of potential standards. Of course, Season 10 is going to be a landmark season, or hope is going to be a landmark season for TML F1, and hopefully it does bring some really good action out on track, because Season 10, for me, was always going to be, I think, a landmark season. It's saying goodbye to an old friend and then marking the embarking of a new era, almost, Season 10. It is an anniversary season as well, 10 seasons of us going. The current plans on that, by the way, from a league directorship, we haven't really decided, we haven't really spoke about what's going to be happening next season, just because of the uncertainty currently in the league racing community. But from my perspective, if there was going to be a Season 10 on this game, it will be a very short season, it will be very sharp, it will be very snappy, but it'll be drivers that it'll be tracks that drivers basically want to try and give and try and give them something really to go home about, and really obviously focus on the forthcoming season. Season 10, as I say, hasn't been decided whatsoever, but from my perspective, I want to see as many drivers as possible, old and new, coming back to TML and racing, of course, out on track in a very, very landmark season for season number 10. But yeah, we can go. If people haven't readied up already, we can go. Drivers are readying up around, of course, the circuit of the Americas. We're only starting 10 minutes late. It's not too bad. It's not the end of the world at the end of the day. 5.4 kilometres and then 3.4 mile though waiting us out on track. 20 turns waiting our drivers out on track. And it's one-shot qualifying, and it's sprint race, and it's the feature race as well. I'm going to try and keep you as energetic as possible in terms of this commentary, even though the obvious is there. We've only got 11 drivers, but still, quality over quantity is what I've always said in league racing. I've done this 10 years and I've seen my fair share of races. I mean, on F1 2012, remember, if anyone was back then in the day, we only had 16 player lobbies. And that is literally saying something. We've got full grid lobbies now. We only had 16 drivers actually in lobbies back then on F1 2012. But what I can report, beautiful blue skies and sunshine. Track, by the way, is set to midday. It is set to midday as a result of very, very much low sun coming down the back straight, coming down towards turn number 12 and at various points in the final sector, and also I think in the first sector as well, which can cause drivers a bit of headache in terms of trying to get their braking points. So it is set to midday. It's going to be the same tomorrow as well for F2, and we are now about to get going out on track for some really good action. One-shot qualifying first determines, of course, the qualifying for the sprint, and then the sprint race, of course, depends, but basically qualifies for the feature race as well. But here we go. 5 seconds until we get going here for TML F1. It is going to be good to see drivers out on track once again in the top tier. And we're going to go on board with one of our new drivers, Burmeister. I need to turn the sound down on my microphone. That would be great. Burmeister there on the run down in towards turn number 1. I actually haven't commentated on him before. The rest I have. So it is a bit of a fact-finding mission with him. The hat's in toward the left-hander of turn number 1. Takes it very nicely indeed. Felix Keki, Tom currently up there. Burmeister getting a little bit of snap of oversteer there. Coming down to turn number 2. Then to the left-hander turn number 3. Yona, Tom already down towards the back end of the field. Burmeister coming through turn number 6, and very high, in 5th gear through there, 25.7 in the first sector. What we'll do, because I think he's going to be a little bit slow, is have a ride on board then with Macho coming through this part of the track, through turn number 10 and 11. Keke, Jensen, Felix turning out on top. Tom is invalidated, I think, and retired from the session, so that's disappointing from the Shazoo man's perspective. Harry Banks dropping down a few positions as well, but Keke currently leading the way. Jensen second, Macho in third. Macho now coming down in towards turn number 12. No eyesore down in towards turn number 12, luckily in terms of the camera angle or in terms of the sun, but we were about to get some really good racing, of course, out on track. Macho embarks on turn number 12. Him and Jensen, by the way, back in FRLs. Jensen's just made a really bad blunder there. I think he's had a spin, actually, coming to the left-hander at turn number 12. There's a good middle sector from Macho. Macho and Jensen, by the way, just for fun facts, they collided around here on turn number 2 in wet conditions in FRL a couple of weeks ago. So they have got history around here as Macho now comes and embarks on towards turn number 18, then toward the left-hander turn 19, gets the car negotiated very nicely indeed. Jensen retiring from the session, he's going to start from 10th position. Keke and Macho, it's Mercedes 1-2 all the way to the line, and it's Keke out on top by only 1200ths of a second. Macho there in second, Felix there in third. Quite a few scrappy laps in there. I don't think drivers might have been prepared for that one-shot qualifying. But in the end, very, very good racing out on track in terms of that lap from Macho. But it is Keke, the new kid on the block here, certainly in TML F1, is out on top from Macho there in second. Felix there in third. Tom there in fourth, with Harry Banks in fifth. Burmeister, by the way, 1.1 seconds up in Seppi there in sixth. Black Box there in seventh, the 134 flat PSGLF2 winner, of course, on Monday. Yona there in ninth, name changer there in ninth, disqualified, and Jensen and Tom both invalidated, both retired from the session. They are starting in the back of the field, which is going to be very interesting indeed, because I would have predicted them for the first two. But Keke out on top, Macho second, Felix won there in third. Let me know in the comment section how you think this race is going to get on. Let me know in the comment section who you might be supporting there as well in chat. Charlie saying as well, if it wasn't wet conditions, James was dry as a desert. It was indeed. It was dry as a desert. Yeah, it was dry as a desert. I think it changed. Did it change potentially to intermediate conditions in that race? I don't know. I've done so many commentaries in recent weeks, I forget. But beautiful blue skies and sunshine once again here. Midday once again set on the camera angles, and hopefully we're going to see some really good racing out on track. Of course, it is a sprint race. Only 10 laps on this sprint, and meaning that we're getting through qualifying and the sprint very quickly indeed. Hopefully we'll be on time for the feature race, as I know Felix does have to go. It was dry the whole time. It was indeed. Yeah, as I say, I've done so many commentaries in recent weeks, I tend to forget which one's which, and I tend to forget what day it is sometimes, but there we are. 10 seconds though to go out on track. Predict your top 3 in the comment section. We'll be delighted to see, of course, the racing out on track. Now get going with the sprint race first. No formation up, of course, and it is the 5 red lights now coming on here for the sprint here in America for round 6, and it is lights on, away we go, and Keke gets a very good start. Macho alongside him gets a very good start as well, and already a good start from Harry Banks. He embarks the inside line at turn number 1. Tom tries to defend to the inside line now, or tries to get the move done down the inside line, but in the end the Mercedes goes side by side, and it's Keke who still holds the lead for Macho there in second. Had a better start than him. Tom there in third, Harry Banks in fourth, Felix there side by side with him in towards the X section, the Red Bull and the Ferrari. There he is on the right hand side, just about getting the job done. Burmeister's having a fight there with Yona, and they're getting corner collision. In fact, as we ride on board, Burmeister leaves short of room there on Yona. Not sure if Yona got caught up in a collision. Jensen is in the wall there as well. I think he's actually managed to keep out of the wall very neatly. Left side end plate damage on the car means that he hasn't, and Jensen already down there in 10th position. Burmeister unfortunately got caught up in a collision with Yona. Yona there in 11th. Unfortunate for him, he's down in the back of the field, but Keke there leads the way. Macho there in second, Tom there in third, and already looks like Macho's going to try and gain Keke down into the left-hander of turn number 12, but in the end not getting the job done, as Felix and Harry Banks are going side by side in towards turn number 12, and Felix gets the job done in the Red Bull. Beautiful stuff there from the Red Bull. Now Ferrari, the former TML F1 champion, and Harry Banks there in 5th. Blackhawks there, the PSGLF2 winner on Monday, in 6th as well. He is looking to try and make early position gains. Burmeister tries to go down the inside line of him. Pretty even stuff though through the first sectors, and now through the first lap. Sapala has joined the session, which is good to see. Hopefully he doesn't realise and doesn't leave. But Keke out on top, Macho there in second, Tom there in third, and Keke and Macho already coming through the final couple of corners. Jensen getting out the way there of Yona. He's got left hand unplate damage, as I say, absolutely dire from him from that perspective. Hopefully there'll be a safety call for him to get back into the race. If not, he is up shit's creek quite literally, as that name changer looks the outside line of turn number 1 on Burmeister that was, and actually Tom just got all the way around the outside of Name Changer. Bit aggressive racing there from Name Changer. These guys really do not miss this action out on track, as Jensen there in the pit lane. Telesoft compensators going on, of course. He might be compromised a little bit later on in the feature. Bakaki leads from Macho in second, Tom there in third, Name Changer on the back of Burmeister there, still looking to try and find a way through. The former F1 Esports Challengers man looks to the outside line on the Haas defends the inside line. Name Changer trying to go all the way around the outside, traction on the outside line will be quite potent, gets the traction on the curb. And Tom, I think, is going to try and run at these two as well. He's going to stay in behind, and Burmeister gets out of the way, and that is Name Changer through, and he's into 7th. Very easily done from Name Changer there in the end before the straight happens. Burmeister tries to look to the inside line there of turn number 12. To be fair, Burmeister, brand new to TML F1, didn't even know who he was, didn't even know what driver was joining, but it is him, and he's there in 8th position, doing a good job with Tom there in 9th. He's going to try and look maybe to go scooting around the outside of turn number 14. Doesn't get the job done. Bit of a Tokyo drift there from the AlphaTauri. Bit of a show-off performance there from Tom. Yona there in 10th doing a good job as well. But Keki leads the way for Macho in second. And look at the gap they've pulled compared to Tom there in third. Tom, of course, is actually in a favourable condition in terms of the championship. Felix as well, absolutely same. He's second in the championship coming into tonight. And he'll be hoping for very good points out on track because, of course, sprint race, it is the top 7 that do get sprint points. 10, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2 and 1, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, as Tom to the outside line of turn number 1 tries to get the job done. Burmeister hangs the inside line. There's a collision up the field, and that is Harry Banks and Black Box round. Tom, though, trying to go all the way around the inside line through the S section. Brilliant stuff by Tom, absolutely sensational. There was yellow flags in that sector. I don't think it was for them. Tom there in 6th gets the job done. You've got to have commitment coming through the S section to pull that one off. Brilliant stuff. Might be just my favourite battle of the season as well. Great stuff from Burmeister to even defend that with very low ERS. Tom through, making him look like an absolute ordinary one. He's through and he's into 6th as their Macho attacks Keki for the race lead. Here comes the Dutchman to the inside line on the pin. It should be easy from Macho's perspective. Also easy for Felix 1 as Keki tries to go all the way around the outside line of turn number 12. Bit of a lock up there from Macho, bit of a sideways moment there, but he is making up for his revenge tactic in FRL with Jensen down at the back of the field. They didn't get caught up in a collision at least on this sprint race. Macho leads the way, Keki in 2nd, Felix there in 3rd, but currently out on track doing a fantastic job as Tom there in 4th on the back of Felix, trying to keep in the hunt. Name Changer there in 5th is losing a bit of time, but now with Tom ahead, Name Changer and Tom should actually get back into the fight for that battle. No Tim, Tom, Tam and Tom in terms of the battle, but we might have Tom and Tom battling out on track, which could get quite confusing as Tom, speaking of which, the Jizu man picks up a 3-second penalty on the exit of turn 19. At 4 out of 10 here in the sprint for the United States Grand Prix. Tom on the back of Felix in towards turn number 1, trying to get the job done. The ex-Academy man there in 4th doing a good job. But currently, Macho out on top. Keki in 2nd, Felix there in 3rd, NLR 2-3 at this stage. If they only were hoping for a very good result in EML Premier 1 last night. If you didn't catch EML Premier, as Keki picks up a 3-second penalty as well. If you didn't see EML Premier, any of the action last night, you can go and watch that back a little bit later on. EML Premier 1 and 2 were live on the channel last night on League Racing TV. Keki's just within DRS range on the back of Macho there as well, as Yona is going to try and embark with his fellow compadre of Burmeister. 7th and 8th position out on track at this stage. The Ferrari closes up on the back of the Haas. The Haas, to be honest, not looking too out of shape, I've got to be honest, in no assist. Might be his first experience of racing in no assist, or if he is a no assist driver, he's doing a good job. But Yona, I think, is going to make this one look pretty easy to the inside line, down the straight in towards turn number 12. Should be easy from Yona's perspective, and indeed is. Burmeister tries to go around the outside line, might try and get the switch back. But Yona's move is done. The former TML F2 champion is through, and he's into 7th position early on in the sprint as Tom has gone round, coming through turn number 13. Jizu Tom ran through turn number 13, not his race whatsoever at all, and he's got Harry Banks to the inside line of him as well. Wants to be careful on rejoining, gets caught in the sausage curbs there on the outside. Macho though beginning to really pace away on Keki there in 2nd, Felix there in 3rd. I'll promise you though, there will be a lot closer racing in the feature race, is what I will definitely, determinedly say there will be a lot better action in the feature race and hopefully closer quarter racing, especially with Jensen right down the back of field, left that spin coming through on the first lap as Tom embarks on Harry Banks, the inside line, turn 1, maybe a late dive, but in the end not enticed by the move. Mercedes still holding 1-2, bit of a shoddy exit there from Harry Banks, and now Tom looks the inside line of turn number 2, got to be very close so he doesn't put the front wing on there. Could look for a second move there through the S section this time. No, not going for the move, not having that balls of steel moment that he did with Burmeister. He just looks a bit snappy as well in terms of the racing. The car just snapping away from him. But Tom there on the back of Harry Banks. This is for 8th, 9th and 10th. Closest battle we've got out on track as well. The Leclerc moment coming over the hill. Turn number 10. Now in towards the left-hander turn number 11. And Tom dices to the outside line. Harry Banks has got to be fair to him in terms of this battle. And watch out in behind, because Black Box, championship contender, could have a chance. Jensen picks up a 3-second penalty through the S section. We might get 3 wide down the straight here as Harry Banks tries to pull away from Tom. Tom in the slipstream of Harry Banks. Black Box in the slipstream of Harry Banks as well, and goes to the inside line at turn number 12. Tom tries to get the job done. Harry Banks gives him room. Fair play from the AlphaTauri man. He gets the job done. Really good racecraft between the lot of them. Black Box then behind. Can't get the job done on them both. Might have to wait until these guys dice and fight once again. Match of the leads. Keke in second. Felix in third. Great sprint race. Even though we've only got 10, 11 drivers in the lobby, we have got brilliant racing, brilliant racecraft on show on the most part. Apart from that instance a little bit, a couple of instances a little bit earlier on. But absolutely great racing here in the sprint. More to come, of course, in the feature. Black Box now again looks to the back of Harry Banks, but he's not close enough running down in towards turn 1, which means we can give a focus to the battle for third. Felix there and Tom, third and fourth position. The ex-academy man, I should say, doing a good job there in fourth. Felix there in third, also doing a good job, and the NLR man is currently in a favourable position to take the championship lead off, of course, the championship leader, who I need to remind myself who it actually is. Give me a second. I will have a look at the championship standings. And it is, as there was a spin or a slight moment there, I think it was Tom just breaking actually into the zone. Lynx currently out on top. So actually, with Lynx not being here, Felix as it stands will be championship leader after the sprint, and we will try and extend that, of course, in the feature. Tom has now put Harry Banks completely on the throttle as Jensen has spun, coming to the S section now, turn number 6. Unfortunate there for the Chazoo man. May as well come in, retire the car, maybe go, of course, for the feature race. Down in 11th position, he will start from that position as Black Box looks to the inside line. At turn number 12, we go on board with them there. Dives it to the inside line, the McLaren. The PSGL F2 man closes the door just for good measure. Tom has spun as well. Don't know how he spun there. On the outside curb, unless he's got a puncture? No. No, Tom has literally just spun. Tom there in 10th has literally just spun. Not sure what's going on there. The match are leading the way. Keke there in second. There's another spinner out on track. What is it with these spinners? It's Yona that is round. Now, this track really causing a few headaches out on track. And Yona there, round. I think he's got away with damage, though. He has indeed. Tom has spun once again. He's just overheating his tyres. I don't think the Chazoo boys care at this stage. After their well-worked master plan from last night in EML Premier 1. I think Tom and Jensen, if I've got to be honest, are probably just going to have a battle at the back of the field, which I don't blame them, to be honest. Points are available for the top 7. Tom has spun once again, coming through turn number 19, but Macho leads, Keke in second, Felix in third, Tom in fourth. Name changer there, currently in 5th position. But yeah, name changer now on the back. So Apollo, by the way, is still in the session, which I'm glad to report. So hopefully we'll get as Tom retires from the session. Which, to be honest, I don't blame him. He was spinning quite a few times there. Do not blame him at all for retiring out on out in the pit lane. And unfortunately for him, he's already out the race. Lap 7 out of 10. About to go into lap 8. Macho Keke, Felix currently top 3. Tom, name changer Burmeister, he's doing a solid job there in 6th. Black Box, Harry Banks, Yona and Jensen in the top 10. As Jensen picks up a 3-second penalty and Tom's AI decides to come out the pit lane, which is fantastic news for everyone who is an AI fan. Harry, though, on the back, of course, of Black Box. It's the closest battle we've actually got. 8th position over Black Box. He's currently in 7th. And looking to try and get the job done as Harry Banks had a huge snap coming out of turn 15. And again through 16. These setups, not sure what is on in terms of the setups tonight or in terms of the spins. honestly all over the place, some of these drivers. Not sure if the setups, not sure if there's something in the water perhaps, not sure if they've got maybe a wet setup on, if there is going to be rain in the race. Who knows? Matcher though, what I do know is 2.1 seconds clear of Keki and looking pretty dominant indeed as well. Dan there saying in the chat, I'm there for F2. Currently, I've heard nothing from the WR guys, so yes, at this moment in time, I will be there for F2. Mike, by the way, if you're wondering, is not here. He's currently down, I think, with a sore throat and flu, if I'm not mistaken. He should be back tomorrow, though. He decided to take the night off. I don't blame him, to be honest, if he has got a sore throat. Doesn't want to be doing an hour and a half's worth of commentary alongside me, that's for sure. But yeah, I should be there tomorrow, providing that I don't get a late call up for WR Console Tier 1. I should be there tomorrow for TML F2, and if Mike isn't there, I'm probably going to be there anyways, because we will obviously have a stream, as Macho has picked up a 3-second penalty. Through turn 13 there. Interesting. Gives Felix potentially a chance of a look in on Keki if he closes up 1.4 seconds in the next 3 laps, which is possible. It is viable for him to do. But I think the way these mediums are wearing, this is not really the tyre to be on around this track for a first stint at all. Even in the sprint, even in the feature race. Jensen, by the way, I don't think is one to be lapped around. He is going very slow in that first sector. He's in 10th position currently, heads on track. He is doing a good job. But obviously there, down in 10th, his race I think was over on lap 1 out of 10. As once again we look on to the back. As I have just spied a very interesting thing there. As Jonah I think is going to go for fastest lap attempt further down the field. Just spied a very interesting thing. Funny enough, the NLR team event, I'm on board with an NLR man, may as well mention it. NLR team event is on Sunday, 3 PM UK time. Myself and Mr. Aidan Carter is going to be alongside me in the commentary box. That is going to be very interesting indeed. That is literally hot off the press, just been informed when I'm doing the stream here. Name changer on the back of Tom is a more interesting battle than that. Name changer on the back of Tom looking for this 4th position. Alfa Romeo against Aston Martin, crucial of course from Tom's perspective in terms of potential championship fight. Name changer though, looking to try and change positions. The outside line of turn number 12, the Aston Martin has too much speed I think down the straight. The Alfa Romeo will have the inside line though. Name changer's giving him the inside line, and to be fair, Tom fights that back. Tom is back through and he's into 4th. Defends coming across him in towards turn number 13. Fair play to Tom. Inside was there, may as well risk it, and name changer can't manage it. So Tom back through and he's into 4th. Name changer there in 5th, doing a good job. And Macho out on top, Keki in 2nd, Felix there currently in 3rd, name changer on the back of Tom, looking on the back, in towards turn number 17 and 18, through Verstappen corner, in towards turn 19 once again. Jensen, by the way, still continuing on, out on track, on that set of soft compound tyres, really not his race whatsoever, I know. Hopefully, if his form is there, he will be back, of course, in the feature race. As my Discord has decided to die, and we are on to the final lap of the races. Name changer once again, looks the back of Tom. Not getting the job done. Black Box and Burmeister potentially in towards turn number 1 as well. Who knows? Let's see if he's going to go for the move. Not quite. Harvey Banks involved in this battle as well. Penalties, by the way, we're on the final lap. Macho on 3, Keki on 3. Doesn't really matter. Felix is the one to watch out for. 1.9 seconds behind Keki. And he's 4.7, sorry, behind Macho. So I don't think he's going to close in the time. Yellow flag in that middle sector is for Jensen into the final sector split there. Name changer though on the back of Tom, right underneath the rear wing. Switches the inside line of turn number 11. Doesn't want to risk the move because he has got DRS, and in the end he does risk the move, and Tom has to rejoin track. Name changer has got any give, he will let him through. Tom though does also have EOS to burn as they run down the straight side by side in towards turn number 12, but in the end name changer doesn't care who Tom is. Tom doesn't really care who name changer is either. Looks the inside line, tries to fake the move to the inside, but name changer worthy to that threat is through, and he's into 4th position. Tom there in 5th, and Black Box actually looking to the inside line, and Burmeister absolutely dives in from a mile back, gets the job done. He went deep there, Burmeister. Macho though has looked absolutely dominant around here in the sprint. Feature race of course still to come in TML F1, but Macho, my word, he has absolutely flown here through the final corner on the run to line. Macho's a race winner once again in TML F1. Keki there in 2nd, comes across the line, will lose that 2nd position to Felix. Keki there in 3rd, name changer there in 4th. Jensen, by the way, I think is doing donuts on the other side of the track. And actually he's retired out on track, I don't blame him. Name changer in 5th. Harvey Banks is actually retired, coming through the final 2 corners. Wow! Big snap coming through turn 19. Harry Banks out of the race, gives Burmeister P7, gives Tom P5, Blackbox P6, crucially as well. Jona's going to get P8. Disaster for the Ferrari man. Out on track, Jona there in 8th, doing a good job. But Macho wins, Felix in 2nd, Keki there in 3rd, and of course the feature race still to come. With the addition of Sapalo, of course, he's starting at the back of the field. Yeah, Macho out on top. From Felix in 2nd, could be a very interesting fight in the feature. I hope this is going to be spaced out. I'm just have to find things to talk about. Indeed, name changer leaving the session. Not sure if that may be for subtle change. I hope he doesn't realise that we're having a break in between the break and the sprint and the feature, which we're not. Macho is out on top, and there are the results for the sprint. And in the end, only a second. Felix was closing in on Macho in the end. I think he took a little bit too much out of his size, but still, it was a dominant win from Macho's perspective. Felix there in 2nd, Keki there in 3rd, name changer there in 4th, Tom there in 5th, Blackbox there in 6th, Burmeister there in 7th, Jona there in 8th, Harry Banks, Jensen retiring out on track 9th and 10th, and Tom there in 11th. Of course, DNFing and retiring in the pit lane. Not his favourite race whatsoever in terms of TML F1. But Macho there out on top, Felix in 2nd, Keki in 3rd, NLR 234, which is quite nice, but Macho takes the win in the sprint with the feature race coming up very, very shortly indeed. Medi C, his internet has crashed. So Medi C's internet has crashed, so that means, I hope his AI cover is still going to be out on track, which means, obviously, if it is, then he will be okay. I think I can spy an Aston Martin there, down in the pit garage, potentially. So it could be him, it could be in AI mode. If it is in AI mode, he can join the session back, and I don't think it causes many issues if he does decide to join that back indeed. But out on track, Macho taking that race win back after that FRL calamity, let's just say that, a calamity between himself and Jensen. And we are there with with 10 drivers, or 11 drivers, I think now. MTC. But yeah, they're discussing instant already, and Felix is saying, races hasn't even started yet, and we're still discussing instant. Welcome to sprint racing. Yeah, sprint racing indeed. One to watch out for on this end from the TML side. But here we go. The feature race now about to begin means drivers are going to be hopefully a little bit more patient in terms of their moves, and hopefully some really good racing out on track on paper, as well as we have now got 12 cars on the grid, 5 lights now coming out here in America. And it is, lights on, away we go. Name changes AI gets along with the start very well indeed. Macho, though, will lead down in towards turn number 1. Name changes AI looking to the outside line of turn number 1. In the end, will not get the job done. There's a ghost car going through. There's a collision. Burmeister, and I think that was Harry Banks tapping the rear end there of the Haas. And he is sent round as well in the Ferrari. Unfortunate, very late on the brakes there, I think, from the Ferrari's perspective, as Keki is through. Felix there through as well. Name changer dropping down the field, but Macho there leads the way. Tom there in 2nd, Keki there in 3rd. Burmeister, Harry Banks has let him through, I believe, which is really good to see. Good sportsmanship. Realised he was in the wrong, completely in the wrong. Name changer dropping down the field. Don't just ignore that. He is in AI mode, but very good start out on track by everyone. That is in human mode, apart from Burmeister and Harry Banks further down the field. Everyone in the DRS train. Macho leads. Tom in 2nd, Keki in 3rd, and Tom actually really good start. Medium compound tyres on. Mediums for name changer, mediums for Burmeister, mediums for Harry Banks. For the rest of them, a sort of hard compound tyres. Burmeister now looking to the inside line to try and get the job done as well. Blackbox there trying to defend off Tom. Tom there in 6th, Jona there in 7th, but on settling down, very good start by everyone out on track. Solid start to the American Grand Prix here. United States Grand Prix as Blackbox has a bit of a twitch there, coming out of turn 14 into now the left-handed turn number 15. Very overcast, by the way, out on track. If you are just tuning in, we had a beautiful blue sky race in the sprint, and in the feature here, it is very overcast, which might mean could get a little bit of rain later on in the race. Oh, as I need to really refresh myself as my voice is already going. Macho the lead, Tom in 2nd, Keki there in 3rd. Tom on the back of Blackbox and will try and get the job done at this stage, but it is very, very early on in this race. I don't think we're going to see moves this early on out on track compared to what we normally see around here in America, where drivers just go hell for leather regardless of what lap it is on track. Tom though trying to pressurise Macho. Macho just has too much pace for him. I think this is where the skill difference comes in between Tom and Macho. Tom obviously part of the old F2, part of the line-only F2. Now, of course, the assists F2, which is the current F2. But Tom doing a good job. He's on that centre medium, realising he wants to try and make a glory out of a situation that's really not going to be his. And judging by his pace so far, he is making that step up. Keki there in third, Felix in fourth. Tom now on the back of Black Box. Could be an interesting fight down in towards turn number 12 if he is close enough. Tom is definitely closing in straight line speed. Normally has a straight line speed set up around here. Jensen using up on the back of Yona. And the former TML F1 champion passes the former TML F2 champion. Nice stuff from Jensen. Gets the job done into 7th. Yona there in 8th. And Burmeister and Harry Banks trying to hook onto the back of these two as well. As Macho already trying to extend outside of a second competitor. Tom had a go on that ton of mediums because he had to try and stick with Macho in the early stages. He had a very good sprint. But yeah, the pace difference now and the skill difference is just coming in, I think, around this track. And this really does tell from Tom's perspective. But he's doing a good job. He's doing a solid job. And we cannot take anything away from him so far. The other Tom, by the way, Shazoo. Tom on the back of Black Box. He goes deep into the final corner. Looks the inside line of turn number 1. And Tom, I think Black Box is saying, yeah, come through. Absolutely no way I'm going to try and defend that. Tom will defend to the outside line. Black Box looks the inside line. Job done for Tom. He's through and he's into 5th. Oh, as my voice is already going, as you can already tell. Macho though leading, Tom in 2nd, Keki in 3rd, Felix there in 4th, Black Box there on the back of Tom, 5th and 6th, Jensen, Yona, Burmeister, Harry Banks and Name Changer, the 11th drivers out on track. Name Changer, by the way, must have had a spin somewhere out on track, so I didn't see him drop down the field, so he must have had a spin somewhere out on track. Black Box though on the back of Tom. He's going to look to try and come back with him down in towards turn number 11. Be down towards turn number 12 potentially as well. Black Box has a much deeper exit actually of the corner, basically on the curve exit, and gets a real good. As that Name Changer's back in. Oh yeah, he disconnected, didn't he? Name Changer there didn't have a spin. He disconnected. He's dropping down the field. He's at the back of the field as Black Box goes for the move on Tom. Looks at the inside line. That was a bit of a fake there from the McLaren, and in the end, McLaren, wishful thinking there from Black Box. He wanted to try and get that job done, but already you can tell Macho so much quicker than Tom at this stage. If I was in Tom's shoes right now, I'd let Keki through. I would let Keki through and really try and save the race from there. As Name Changer is back in the session, I'm delighted to report. There in 11th. Hopefully hasn't got very, very old tyres on the car. Or very cold tyres, I should say, on the car, as opposed to old tyres. As Burmeister picks up the first 3-second penalty of the night there as well. Felix on the back of Keki, looking to the inside line. One lap 4 out of 28 so far. No safety cars of ESCs out on track in the feature. Delighted to have everyone joining in, by the way, for TML F1. TML F2, by the way, is live tomorrow night. It should be myself and Mike taking you through the action. That's if I'm not called to WOR, and if that is not Mike still being ill on us, unfortunately. I know he mentioned a little bit earlier on, but he was having soothers and lemsips and menthols and absolutely everything underneath the sun to try and go through. Oh, is that Tom has a huge snap of oversteer in the background of the shot. Lose a bit of time there to Black Box. Not too much to concern about, but that was a big snap of oversteer from Tom, and then in 5th position doing a good job out on track. Yeah, Black Box looking on the back of Tom once again. He's going to look towards the move. Looks like Black Box is quicker down the straight line speed compared to him. Keki looking to the inside line there, and Tom 1.8 seconds. This is where the real cork in the bottle begins to happen out on track, and this is where, as I say, the old F2 meets the old F1, if you like, with Keki, of course, a newcomer to TML. He has been here, I believe, in the past, and he is doing a solid job. He has recently taken race wins at the EML Premier in Imola and drove a very good solid race. Of course, a couple of weeks ago, Macho was spun out of the race lead. As I looked down to my iPad nonchalantly, didn't think anything was going to happen. Macho was spun out of the race lead, and that is absolutely costly. He's down in 10th position. Mind you, he did come back from a last to first in America, as we see really big defensive line there. I think that was from Black Box to the inside line of turn number 1, defending thin air there up the hill. But Macho spins, coming through turn number 16, so easy to do. I think there's a bump on the inside, which has forced him round, and Macho there in 10th position. not having good luck. And Tom now suddenly puts himself in a very, very tricky position. He puts himself in the lead of the race on medium compound tyres against a rampaging field on a set of hards. How will Tom manage the pressure out in front? Only time will tell out on track in terms of the racing as Tom on the back of Felix in the meantime. We're going to try and get the job done. Tom already looking to the trying to scrape the toe desperately down the straight. We can make, of course, 2 moves down the straight, and again trying to weave, but here comes Felix on the back of Keki. Looks to the inside line of turn number 12, and I think Keki realises that Felix from the other side of the track gets the job done. I think then towards turn number 12, Keki fights back at him. Bit of snap of oversteer there from the German, and now Keki, the Finn, is under pressure once again from Felix on the outside line. Tom on the background of this as well, trying to look all the way around the outside line. Felix might make contact with him if he's not careful. In the end, off camera of the corner, and Thomas do and takes full advantage of that. Gets Loonies into third, Keki there in second. Unfortunate from Felix, he's going to lose the position as well to Black Box around the outside of turn 19. Brilliant stuff by Black Box. Not sure if Felix has got a little bit of wing plate damage potentially. I don't think he has. He hasn't been involved in any contact with anybody. I think it's just purely on pace. Felix dropping down the field, becoming the real cork in the bottom now is Black Box. Jensen now on the sudden on the back of these guys. And remember, Jensen qualified in 11th and now dives up to 5th position to the inside line on a championship contender nonetheless. Tries to look around the outside line of turn number 2. There is a bump on the outside line. Jensen aware of that to the inside line of turn number 3 through 4. Felix shuts the door. Fantastic racing in TML F1. My word, these guys are working for it. Thank God we're having a race tonight. Oh, already really good racing, and we're only 6 laps in. Tom leads the way, Keki in second, Tom in third, and now all hell potentially about to break loose, or is it going to calm down? Who knows? Tom though really having to defend on the back of Keki. Keki there, 0.5 of a second again. Tom just trying to split down the slipstream down the straight. In the end though, I think Jensen might look for Felix 1 here to the inside line of turn number 12. Absolutely sends it on the brakes. It's way too late from Jensen. Felix gets collected. That is definitely getting discussed in the steward's room. Jensen doesn't care. He's into fifth. That was a bit forceful from there. That was from an absolute different parish to try and get that job done. Harry Bang's now trying to go around the outside of Felix, and Felix unfortunately catching up in another instant. That probably was not his fault. The steward will definitely look at that one if it is reported. If it's not reported, Jensen might have just got away there with cold-blooded, killed murder, potentially out on track, as the spinner and name changer as well, slightly coming through turn number 18. He's got the car back coming again, which is fortunate. Tom Noel leading the way from Keki in second, as Keki got to look for the move in towards turn number 1 on the outside. And the time off just to see the car, and in the end, Mayo holds on as Felix in the meantime gets through on Harry Banks. Harry Banks fights him in towards turn 1, and Felix, that is the hallmarks of a championship contender right there. Brilliant racing again between them both, and Felix making up for lost time in terms of that spin, in terms of that collision with Jensen. And in the end, Felix now down in 8th position. And the Red Bulls, of course, colliding out on track. Not the first time we've seen that around to you either at Circuit of the Americas in real life. Harry Banks, though, on the back of him, still trying to pressurise him. Felix, probably the quicker driver out of the 3. Macho, to be fair, is on the back of these guys and could have them for absolute chips, as Keki, much closer this time around to Tom, is going to surely break into the DRS, surely going to try and get this job done down the straight. It looks pretty easy from Keki's perspective. Tom's going to try and put up a fight, will defend to the middle of the road, but Keki flies past him. Tom's not coming from that far back, and Keki through, and he's into the race lead as Tom just about fit an Alfa Romeo size gap up there. Didn't get the job done, and again Tom was having to defend offline there slightly, coming through turn number 12. Really good racing though out on track. These guys making up for lost time. Black Box on the back of Tom as well, even though, as I say, we've only got 11 drivers out on track. Name changer out of the race, obviously with that little bit of desync, and obviously that spin just a lap ago. Doing a good job though still, but we have got the whole field covered by about 5 seconds, 5.5 seconds at this stage, covering 10 drivers, which, to be fair, you will probably laugh at this stage, but this is TML F1. We haven't had good attendances in the past, as Felix is into the pit lane, so there's the Red Bull in. Early pit stop, set of mediums, 19 laps perhaps, could get a job done. Oh my god, as Tom absolutely gave the fight of my life there towards turn number 1, trying to look to try and get the job done. But yeah, Felix has to make a bit of a hallmark situation here, a bit of a negative into a positive basically. I think there was a front wing change potentially in that as well, but the Red Bull into the pit lane, Felix into the pits, He's there in 11th position, and compared to Keki, he is... It will fix itself on the left-hand side. 28.4 seconds as name changers round. Coming to the first sector, that's, I think, a catch on the bump coming out of 6, and again, nearly out of turn 7. And Felix is retired from the race as well. Felix crashes out of the race, and in fact, has he retired on track? Yes, Felix indeed has retired out on track and might be time constraints potentially on his end. We'll find out for that in due course. For Tom, on the back of Keki for the race lead, looks for the outside line. Felix has left the session indeed, so that might mean Tom looks for the inside line on Tom. This is the Tom and Tom battle we wanted. Alfa Romeo and the AlphaTauri are better fighted out for this, second, third position out on track. Yona looks for the outside line, Jensen not getting the job done from there either. But Keki leads, Tom and Tom second and third. Tom versus Tom. The first time we've had a Tom and Tom battle this season. Harry Banks has spun, coming out of turn number 15 as well. That's unfortunate for his perspective. Felix, as I say, I think it was more time constraints than anything. I know he said he had to go by 9:30 UK time. It is only 8:45. He would have been fine, but I think he might have just had enough in terms of the racing out on track. As Macho again is round, coming through turn number 19. So Macho round coming out of turn number 19. Has he got front wing damage? No, I don't think he does, but he's into the pit lane. This will be for set of mediums, and actually it's the speed in the pit lane. Is that a retirement out on track? Yes, it is. Retirement into the pit lane for Macho. Not having the great look. He had a brilliant sprint race. That spin put him on the back foot, and that spin in the end cost him potentially a real crack of the race. But then again, drivers are retiring. They don't realise those points were 10, 11 points, I think. But he's just given away and handed to somebody else. Can't make it up. Can't make it up. Tom, though, on the back of Tom. Tom and Tom. AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo. Harry Banks has spun again, coming to the S section there of turn number 9, I think that is. Tom, though, on the back of Tom. AlphaTauri Tom on the back of Alfa Romeo Tom. Tom and Tom. About to Tom it down the inside line and turn number 10. Yeah, turn number 12. Tom down the inside of his fellow Tom. Looks the inside line and just about going to come on top of this one. As much as AI retires, of course, out on track. As it left the pit lane and retired out on track, of course. Tom there, looking to the inside line of Keki, tries to go deep, but doesn't get the job done. But he has got the job done on Tom. So Tom and Tom, second and third, and Black Box now, they can try and break the Tom battle. And if you're wondering how many times I said Tom there, don't have a shot every time I said Tom. And every time I will say Tom in this race because it will literally be there. Felix saying as well in the chat, sprint race meaning he only had one set of medium compounder tyres. Bit of a split up down the straight here. Black Box looks the inside line on Tom. Going to come from a mile back to the inside line at turn number 1. Tom will defend to the outside line, and Black Box, to be fair, might take this into a negative, into a positive. Round the outside of turn number 2, gets the job done. Nice racing there from Tom to defend that. Harry Banks retires, I think, into the pit lane there as well. Yeah, he is done out on track. Name changer still continuing on. Burmeister, by the way, still hasn't been mentioned in this race. He's there in 7th, keeping up with these guys, which is good to see. But even though we've only got, 8 drivers now out on track, 7 are covered by, 4 seconds, it is still decent racing, decent amount of racing, considering these guys turned up, and I thank every single one of these guys. As Yona looks to the inside line and Jensen. FC man trying to get past the M1 man. And try and get the job done. Former TML F2 champion, that's what I'm trying to say there. Former TML F2 champion, former TML F1 champion, now side by side down the straight. Gonna look to the inside line. But in the end, is he going to look for the job done to the inside of turn number 12? Yes! Yona might just be ahead going out the corner, or as he has a big snap, picks up a 3-second penalty, which is very unfair. Looks still to the outside on turn number 13. Jensen switches it back, sold the dummy to the inside line, and Yona, is he going to recover from that one? No. Jensen through, masterful driving from the Red Bull, he's through, he's into 5th. We will get, by the way, pit stops begin to happen. Oh, so I have to clear my throat. Apologies. Keki though, Tom, Black Box top 3. We will begin to see pit stops happen from around now. Lap 11 out of 28 though. No VSCs, no safety cars out on the track. On the whole, yes, people are looking at this and probably thinking, yeah, you've only got 8 drivers, I'm not going to join the league. These are 8 of the best drivers, and Name Changer now picks up his penalty through the final couple of corners. These are 8 of the best drivers that we've got in TML F1, currently still going out on track. Macho, Harry Banks, Felix, all very capable on their day as well. Sadly, other issues come into play in the race, unfortunate from them. that perspective, down 9th, 10th, 11th and out of the race and not picking up any points. But at this stage, Keki, Tom, Black Box top 3. Tom looking on the back of Keki, try and get this race win. Keki has defended very well indeed in the EML Premier. Tom has got 70% of EOS to use up. If you are very new to Formula 1 and don't know what EOS is is basically the amount of energy. Like on show here with Jensen, he's run out of his battery down the straight. Jensen looks the inside line of Tom though, not defending that. Jensen doing his into 4th and Tom I think now going backwards as other sides. Basically though, EOS, think of it this way. Going into a corner, literally as Tom has just done, he saves a bit of EOS. 11% now compared to 8% going into the corner. And again, coming through turn number 15. Oh, as Burmeister has retired out the race with a spin in the background shot. Might be a safety car. It is off track, and I have seen an incident, I think, in EML Premier 1 around here. Name changer, though, through. There is Burmeister, right-hand side. It's the rear wheel that has actually gone off the car. His car, though, has been recovered already. That means we've got no VSC or safety car out on track. It means we can continue on. Now down to 7. Now down to 7. In TML F1, becoming slowly a war of attrition in this race. Keki though, Tom leading the way. Charlie, by the way, in the chat, yeah, totally agree. Felix won't be happy with that dive from Jensen. I already know that, and yeah, in terms of dive bombs, the inside line as name changer, I think is going to speed into the pit lane and potentially retire the car in the pit box. I'm thinking. Have to wait and see, or is he going to still continue on? Goes into centre hard. He's still going to continue on. Fair play to him. He's down in 7th, 14 seconds behind the leaders. He comes in the pit lane, puts on a set of hard component tyres. As I say, anything can happen with these guys ahead out on track, and it's just the risk and reward of Formula 1 racing out on track. But Keki, Tom, Black Box leading the way. This is, however you're going to look at it, a very, very interesting fight. As Yona, I think, is going to get the job done down the straight in towards turn number 12, and Tom does get the job done. Tom, unfortunately, going backwards, and I think if I was Tom now, I would come into the pit lane and stick on that sort of hard compound tyres. He will be easily ahead of Name Changer, and of course, if he does, and these guys put in for set of mediums a little bit later on, he will have undercut everyone, depending on his pace. But Yona Throoni's into 5th, Tom there in 6th, Tom, the other one, Jazoo Man, in 2nd, doing a good job. On the back of Keki, 4.5 tenths per second, covering the top 2 at the stage. Blackbox, Jensen, Yona, Tom, Name Changer, the 7 drivers currently still going out on track. Any pit stops around here? Yona was looking the pit stop. Tom is in. Tom is into the pit lane. Not sure if he is listening to me in the chat. I hope he is. He's into the pit lane. And this is going to be for a set of hard compound tyres, which will take him quite easily, in fact, to the end of the race. All depends on what happens now as Tom goes a bit deep, I think, in towards turn number 1. Tries to fight the outside line. I'm not sure if Blackbox actually trying to force the inside line there. But whatever's going to happen here, Tom's going to try and switch this back. And he's really aggressive through the S section. He wants this move back. Looks the inside line. Backs off of, my God. Backs off at literally the last second. Whatever happened there, it's led Tom into 3rd. Blackbox now 2nd. And I can only think it's one of the two. Blackbox either forced him into the inside line. I think he went too deep, though. I think he went too deep. And therefore, Tom, in 3rd, now has to try and fight back that position with Blackbox, and that could be very interesting indeed. The TF man and the Shazoo man out on track, trying to go out on track. Ron settling down once again. Everything still going according to plan in terms of the race from the top 5. As I say, Tom into the pit lane. So the whole compound size, 15 seconds ahead of Name Changer, who is still continuing out on track. As I say, safety car, one safety car could literally change this race. As Blackbox, oh my God, looked to the inside line, dived it almost, faked the move, and in the end, he's going to be side by side with Tom coming out of turn number 16. Tom looks the outside line of 16, now dips the inside line of 17 and 18. But McLaren just looks as wide as possible coming in towards turn 19. Bends the inside line. If I was in Blackbox's shoes, I might try and come in the pit lane sooner rather than later, because Tom on the back of him has got much more EOS than this stage, 35% more EOS than this stage. And Tom on the back is trying to get the job done. Jensen and Yona 4th and 5th, and they are looking pretty good. And all of these guys, by the way, stuck in this DRS train, are keeping up with each other, which is great. And that, for Tom, not good news whatsoever. He has to use up those hard compound tyres really to good effect, as Keki picks up a 3-second penalty. And that might just be an answer that Tom was looking for in terms of trying to undercut these guys. 3-second penalty for Keki. Tom continues on. These guys continue on for more laps. That would mean Tom will undercut these guys eventually out on track. But yeah, Keki still leading the way. Thank you, by the way, to everyone that is tuning in. I really do appreciate every single one of you, the 6 of you who I think are very, very much to the cause for tuning in. The 5 of you, in fact, that are tuning in. Thank you so much to every single one of you for tuning in. It has not been easy for TML F1, but I can guarantee you, unless there's a meteor strike or a nuclear bomb or something tomorrow, TML F2 will definitely happen, will definitely be higher attendance, and will definitely, hopefully, be better racing in terms of the sprint and the feature as well. But Keki, Blackbox, Tom, Jensen, Yona, top 5. What I will do as well after this race is finish over the weekend is get obviously feedback from this race regarding the drivers out on track, see how they thought it went, see if they want to continue with it on for the rest of the season, because I think it's only fair that... Oh, is that Yona? Oh my... What on earth was he thinking there? And in the end he's missed his braking point. What on earth were you thinking there, man, the Dutchman? Yona, goodness me. He tried to force, I think, Jensen to come in the pit lane, and he was really unsure himself. He was going to come in the pit lane, and now all of a sudden he's nearly lost DRS to the back of Jensen. Not the smartest idea, is what I will say. Definitely not the smartest idea from his perspective whatsoever. But halfway through here in America, halfway still to go. Keki, Blackbox, Tom, top 3, Jensen, Yona, top 5. Tom, by the way, has cut basically 2 seconds off the back of Yona, off the back of Keki, and that means he is catching 2 seconds a lap. Well, not 2 seconds a lap, but he's caught 2 seconds basically in the last 3 laps. So, say he's gaining 6, 7 tenths a lap, he will be within striking range of Keki, Blackbox, Tom, Jensen, when they all decide to come in the pits as Tom now on the battery, looks to get the job done, down the straight on Blackbox. These two have already had a slight moment down in towards turn number 1 a couple of laps ago, and is the AlphaTauri man going to look to the inside line? No, fakes the move, doesn't want to risk it, and in the end Keki pulls for the lead, Blackbox in second, Tom in third, but Tom now beginning to apply the pressure. He has won around here in FRL in the past, he's won around here in TML in the past as well, and looks to the inside line at turn number 15, backs it out very much at the last moment. Blackbox probably thinking, what on earth are you doing there, right at my rear end. Keki holding the lead, Blackbox, Tom, Jensen, Yona, top 5. And honestly, this race doing a very much a good race out on track as the leader is in. Keki into the pit lane, is in. Feels threatened, oh my word, and nearly spun coming into the pit lane. Wow. Oh, he got away with that one. He got away with that one. That could have easily ended in tears. But where is Tom? Tom is coming through turn 19. Keki, I think, is going to be ahead quite comfortably here, actually. Out the final corner. Yeah, Keki's going to be ahead. Keki's going to be miles ahead of Tom, in fact. Going to be around, what, 1.5, 2 seconds, I think. But it's miles ahead. And he is within DRS, he is outside of DRS range. Perfect from Keki's perspective. Not so perfect from Tom's perspective. He though, will be hoping with that battle as name changer has retired into the pit lane, is done, out on track, leaves the session. We're now down to the 6. The Fab 6 is what I'm going to call them out on track. And they are all still going to be fighting out on track for each other, which is really good as Tom, speaking of fighting, blasts past to the inside line of turn number 12 and Blackbox flies past him to the inside line, gets the job done. Tom is through and he's into the lead of the race. Blackbox in second, and now may the hammer fall with Jensen there in third, Yona there in fourth, doing a good job out on track. Yona there trying to look on the outside line, not getting the job done there though. Oh, but Tom leading the way, Blackbox in second, Blackbox again, now trying to look on the back of Tom. There's a yellow flag, that is just for name changes AIs. Don't worry about that whatsoever. Tom, though, is he in the pits? Yes, responds, Blackbox in, Jensen in, Tom, 3-second penalty. I think that was actually coming into the corner cut into the pit lane. And if that was the case, and I saw that, I think that will probably get removed. That will probably get removed. I know for a fine fact he's going to put that in the steward's office. Tom out of the pit lane. They're all coming out in variable degrees there. There was a lot of dust being kicked up there. But here is Keki on the outside line, down the straight. Is he going to be ahead of these guys? Yes, is the answer. Very comfortably indeed, and might even have them outside of DRS range. Keki ahead of Tom and Jensen. In the end on the back of Blackbox. I think Blackbox had a slight slide coming out of the pit lane. Tom all of a sudden, the XA man, could be on the back of these guys. These guys have got half a lap to warm up basically. Tom could be on the back of these guys if he has got the pace. Yona the only one continuing on. Out on track. He has been cost a lot of time now in terms of that set of hard compound tyres. Fiona, Keki, Tom, Blackbox, Jensen and Tom, still the 6 going out on track, which, to be honest, half of the grid DNFing is not too much of a common sight around here. It is pretty common to see half the grid falling. It's especially exacerbated, I think, because it is literally 11 drivers out on track. We could have had 12, so Pollard did join and then just disappeared, I guess. I don't know what happened to him, but Yona leading, Keki second, Tom third, Blackhawks fourth, Jensen fifth. In the second half of the race, looks to be quite exciting as Tom picks up another 3-second penalty. What on earth? He's just picked up one. How has he picked up 2 warnings already? Tom in third as Yona was in. Yona into the pit lane from the lead of the race. I have a feeling he's going to rejoin behind Jensen and maybe side by side with Tom coming out the pit lane here. Let's find out. Into the pit lane. Ferrari's pit him quick. About a 2.5-second pit stop on the run down towards turn number 1 for the leaders. They're going through on the right-hand side, and there is Yona coming out right in the middle of both himself, Jensen and Tom. Perfect, I think, from Yona's perspective. Has got slightly fresher tyres as well. Tom, though, in 6th, doing a good job, and he will try and hang on in there until the tyres come 10. He will pick up, though, a maximum of 14 points, is what I think people don't realise. 14 points is what you'll pick up for 6th position. 15 points, I think, for 5th. Then 17, 20, 25, and then 30, I think? 30, 25, 20, 17, 15, 14, yeah. I'm right, yeah. Keki leading the way, though. Tom in 2nd, now gapping him outside of a 2nd, and he's got him outside of DRS range for the first time. Tom now has got to be very coy to the fact that Keki is quicker ahead of him. Tom now has got a lap fresher tyres compared to Keki ahead. And he'll be hoping to try somehow, just somehow, to get the job done. I think Keki had a slight mistake though, actually, coming out of turn number 12, and that just brings Tom a little bit closer together, coming out of 13, 14, and then towards turn 15 once again. Keki out on top, Tom in 2nd, Blackhawks 3rd, Jensen 4th, Yona 5th, Tom there in 6th, doing a good job. Keki picks up another 3-second penalty. They're now on 6 seconds worth of penalties, the leaders. Yona on 3, Tom on 3 as well. Blackhawks and Jensen haven't picked up a penalty so far, even though I certainly saw Jensen very close to picking up a penalty a little bit earlier on. But Tom on the back, Jensen passes that the race. Tom on the back of Keki in towards turn number 1. Lap 19 out of 28. May not be, from your perspective, the most exciting race in the world, but this perhaps could have a grandstand finish, and I really hope it does, because given the real troubles that we've had in TML F1, it'll be fantastic to have a battle like this. 4 cars at least fighting out for the race win in America, with 6 drivers racing still. It will be, I think, just the icing on the cake of actually getting this race on in the first place. But Keki leading the way, Tom there in 2nd, doing a good job. Blackhawks in 3rd, Jensen 4th, trying to hang on in there and trying to hang on with every bit of might that car has got. Tom again looks to the back of Keki, and do you know what? I think he's going to go for the move here. Blast past him towards the inside line of turn number 12. Down the straight he goes, and I think Jensen might be closing in on Blackbox in the background shot as well. With Thomas through, he's into the lead. Jensen in the end not close enough to the back of Blackbox, but this is heating up quite nicely. Tom now ahead, has to try and push the pace on Keki. Keki so far has done a fantastic job. Really controlled the race throughout, and in 2nd he has done a really remarkable job. He's looked really quick. America is normally one of his favourite tracks, and Keki has done a great job for the NLR man. And from the NLR team, Blackbox and Jensen 3rd and 4th. They hold the keys at the minute to the race win. Blackbox wide. Coming out of turn 19. Might just have picked up a potential warning there. And if he has, if he didn't, he certainly got away with that. If he did, then that will be one to watch out for, maybe in the stewards. Oh, suddenly I yawn. It's not the race, I promise. It is just the heating's on to the left-hand side of me, on the radiator, and it's causing me to yawn. But Tom leads the way, Keki in 2nd, doing a good job. Blackbox, Jensen 3rd and 4th, and then Yona, Tom 5th and 6th. Currently at this stage of the race. But Tom, just trying to now really apply that pressure to Keki. He's really got Keki out of a comfort zone now. out on track, and Blackbox, I think, was outside of DRS range there. I think he was. I think Blackbox was out of DRS range. He was indeed. Jensen's within DRS range. Good from his perspective. He wants to try and go for the move. Is he quick enough down the straight? No, I don't think he is. He's going to close right up to the back. Don't think he's going to go for the move, though. And yeah, in the end, just backs off. Actually, does a little bit of lifting, coasting into the throttle there, just to try and give a little bit of the ERS. He just basically lifts his foot off the pedal. He has got a wheel set up as well. He lifts his foot off the pedal and basically feathers the throttle. Coming out, oh my word, and nearly feathers the throttle a bit too much there. Coming through turn number 15. Nearly again, scaring the living daylights out of me. Jensen and Blackbox. This is the fight, technically, between Blackbox and Jensen at the minute for the race lead, because Tom and Keki, with those 6 seconds worth of penalties, are they going to really pull away 6 seconds in this time? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. As I was, I spoke there for a second, and I was taking a drink at the same time. Not quite, but then again, 24 hours of Le Mans and all that, Tom, Keki, Blackbox, Jensen. You can certainly ignore Yona and Tom out of the race unless there is a safety car out on the track or VSC and it closes them right back up. I don't think Yona and Tom are going to feature. So it's between really the front four, and what a front four as well. Tom, who has been a real asset to TML. He is a former TML F1 champion as well. Keki in second, the new kid on the block here in TML. Former racer, of course, here. Blackbox in third, current champion. And Jensen, a former champion as well. 3 out of 4 are champions here in TML. Keki was champion with EML, with NLR last season in EML. So, we've technically got 4 champions fighting out for the first 4 positions out on track. Yona, by the way, with the 3-second penalty, might come into play a little bit later on. Tom just can't keep up with that pace. He's out of DRS and he's out of ERS, I'm sure, as well. He just wants to try and get home and try and salvage something out of this race. It was a good strategy call in the first half of the race. It was always going to come back to bite him in the second half. But now Tom really beginning to put the pressure on. And do you know what? The way he's going, oh, it's literally, I've just said that he spun. Tom has spun from the race lead. Would you believe it? A snap of oversteer coming out of turn 16. And it turns the race and the complexion of the race completely on its head. Tom is round, coming out of turn number 18. He's still going to continue on. But my oh my, if you can't get drama, that was it. Tom spins out of the final couple of corners. He slows down as well. I'm not sure if he's going to give Tom a battle here. The Tom and Tom battle for 5th and 6th potentially could be on. But Tom, oh, that is heartbreaking from his perspective. He had that race win. He was pulling away. He was doing everything right. And then one mistake comes back to bite you. Quite literally on the backside. And Tom, unfortunately, they're in 5th. Oh, that is such a shame. That was a weird one. That was a real strange one. There is a bump coming to that part of the track. I'm not sure if it was the bump. I'm not sure if it was a driver error. I'm not sure potentially if it was a wheel disconnection. Who knows? We might hear from him at the end of the race if we do have time for interviews, which at the moment we don't. But yeah, commentator's curse. Literally, as I was about to say that, but Jensen looks the outside line on Blackbox. This is for the net race lead, actually, with Keki 6 seconds worth of penalties. But in the end, Blackbox holds firm and holds sway, 2nd and 3rd. It's now between three champions here in TML and EML. Keki, EML Premier 1 champion, of course, last season with NLR. Blackbox with last season of TML 1, of course, and is on his current next level racing setup, I believe, as well. Jensen there, who's got a recent fan attack, hasn't really hit form, I've got to say. Apart from last night in EML Premier 1, hasn't really hit form. This new wheel seems to be breaking up his form and breaking it really into a good run of form as well, which is always good to see. And Jensen certainly applying that pressure. I know he's doing that WOR as Tom is into the pit lane. Is he going to retire the car? I'm assuming he is. Yeah, he does. Tom retires into the pit lane. That is him done. Tom now in 5th is going to get a maximum of 15 points out on track if he completes. Which is not a good look for the league at all. Not a good look for the drivers retiring whatsoever. As I said at the start of the stream, it's the best we can hope for in a really dire situation in TML. There's a couple of options we could do. There's transitioning, merging between TML F1 and TML F2. But then again, I've been informed that's probably the worst thing to do. And it is probably the worst thing to do because you've got no assist drivers going up against assist drivers, so that's probably off the table. Then you've got the possibility of the season cancelling as Jensen's looking again on the back of Black Box, really closes up on the brakes in towards turn number 12. But yeah, in terms of potential cancellation, that could come if the drivers aren't happy, obviously, with how the race has been going. If they are, to be honest, we've got a three-way fight for the lead. Keke really begins to back up though. Yona could come into this as well, and that could be the real man to watch out for in the race on much fresher tyres, and he's getting into this slowly. Yona creeping into this as that Tom is round coming out of turn number 14. I think that was just a snap there of overseer. He's got the car back going again. He's still going to continue on to complete that 5th position. But yeah, Keke being Blacklock 2nd, Jensen there in 3rd, Yona in 4th, Tom there in 5th, the 5 continuing on. But as I was saying now, the options that we've got ahead of us are really poor, however the way you look at it, and it's up to me, it's up to the rest of the admin team, it's up to the rest of the league directors, it's up to the drivers as well for TML F1, what they want to do. I'm going to be really coercing opinion over the next couple of days, and hopefully a decision will be reached as a result. If this is the last race, what a last race it's been for TML F1. If it's not the last race of the season, then obviously we will only have to hope as Yona now is within a second of DRS on Jensen. Great stuff. 4-way battle once again for the race lead, and Keke now is really having to fight this. He has got, I've got to be honest, zero pace out on track at this stage. He's seen from that second half of the race, it's literally been like that throughout. Blackbox and Jensen 2nd and 3rd. Yona now though is beginning to creep into contention. He is the one to watch out for in this race. The Juventus Racing man doing a good job in 4th, really beginning to now come into this race. As I say, he could be the one to watch out for. We're going to get a 4-way battle regardless, unless somebody spins. We're going to get, at this moment in time, a 4-way battle out on track for the race lead here in TML F1. And to be fair, with only 5 drivers still going, 4 out of the 5 will be pretty good towards the end of the race. But Keke leads, Blackrock 2nd, Jensen 3rd, Yona there in 4th, on the back running up the hill in towards turn 1. If you missed, by the way, what I was saying about the anniversary season, 10th season of TML, or as Keke goes very deep in towards turn number 1, the 10th season of TML, I'm not sure whether it's going to be run on this game or the next game. It depends on what we decide to do, and depends on what we decide to run. 10th season could be an all-star season, could be a Race of Champions season, a Race of Champions style format potentially, and just have that separate, and then do the anniversary season on the new game with much better drivers, much more commitment as well at the start of the game cycle. Those are decisions that are going to be taken, and I would like to very much chat with honestly on the stream as well, because that is my current thinking at this stage as Jensen embarks on the back of Blackbox. This is for the net race lead. Keke with that 6-second mark of penalties. He could factor out of this, but he's still doing a good job. Blackbox defends the inside line. Now Jensen's to the outside line. Will try and come all the way around the outside and towards turn number 12. Locks up on the brakes, and Blackbox is still there to defend. And now Yona, as a result of that lock-up, is now within breathing distance of the front 3. Keke leads the way, holding the pressure nicely. Blackbox in 2nd, really trying to pressurise Keke. He is in a race-winning position at this stage. Jensen there in 3rd. From his earlier spin and earlier real direness in the sprint race, he has done phenomenally well to recover in this feature. And Yona as well, he's just picked up another 3-second penalty. Yona's done a solid job up until that point, up until that lock-up into turn 19. He's done a solid job, and he's still in this race. He is still in contention for this race. All depends what's going to happen in the final 3 laps. What I can say for definite is as long as we don't get any contact from these guys, this could be one of the most nerve-wracking final 3 laps I think I've ever seen in TML, with very limited drivers. Tom, by the way, still continuing on there in 5th, doing a phenomenal job, but concerns these 4, unless they all retire out on track, Tom will definitely not win this race. He may as well go fastest lap attempt. But Keke leads the way. Blackbox, Jensen, Yona are the front 4, and they are the 4 to fight out as all of a sudden Yona is getting into this. He's right on the back of Jensen, and all of a sudden, where has this pace come from? The former TML F2 champion, on the back of the former TML F1 champion. and looking down the straight, looks to try and come from an absolute mile back. Jensen, to be fair, is closing on Black Box very quickly indeed. It's this spot, downhill and towards turn number 12, he really gains the speed. Not good enough on this occasion though. Really begin to back up though. Keke trying to defend that 6-second gap. At this moment in time, it's between Black Box and Jensen. Jonas still involved in this as well. One move, one mistake will really open a whole bag of worms. Penultimate lap of the race about to begin here in the United States. Keke leads the way, Black Box in second, Jensen third, Jona there in fourth. And considering that Sapala, by the way, is still in the session, he's just left. He's been spectating all as long. He's been my Ted Kravitz at this stage. But Keke leads 0.5 of a second out on track, leading the way from Black Box in second. Jensen there in third, and Jensen, is he going to look for the move in towards turn number 1? Yes, dives it to the inside line. Black Box comes across to defend slightly on the outside line. Now for turn number 2. Jensen's going to have to try and make this all the way around the outside line. Black Box, to be fair, I think is going to have this one, and he does. He holds second, but Keke's getting the way out in front. Don't want to let Keke get away too much. Black Box and Jensen, they need to stay within 6 seconds, which is going to be pretty easy. But Jona, now on the back of these guys as well. This is a crescendo here in America for 4 drivers only being in fight for this race win. What a feature race it's been. What a feature race it has been. Jensen knocks up in towards turn number 11. Gives Jona a chance on the switchback. And now the Ferrari will pull alongside on the back of the Red Bull. Just slightly out of DRS range there as well. Black Box now coming now at Keke. And there might be a 2-for-1 down the straight. We're going to get Black Box's view on Keke to the outside line at turn number 12. Keke, though, defends the inside line. Switchback in the end. Perfect position of the car from the Mercedes. And now Jona tries to loop back around the outside of Jensen. Involved in this battle for P3 and 4. My word, what a race. Tom tries to go, Jona tries to go all the way on the outside line of turn 15. Doesn't get the job done. We'll have to think about a turn 1 move. Keke hanging on for grim life. Black Box in second, Jensen in third, Jona there in fourth. And Keke trying to hang on 0.4 of a second out on track, leading the way. Black Box in second is doing a great job. Jensen and Jona doing a great job. Final lap of the race, 4 drivers fighting out for the race win. 1.3 seconds covering the loss as Jona dives out of the slipstream, maybe to weave and remonstrate potentially down the straight there. Not sure what Jona was thinking there. Unless he was just waving and saying, I'm here, don't forget about me, do not forget about me. But Keke leads, Black Box in second. These are the main 2, I think, to concern. Jensen just lacking in terms of pace, but he really needs it. Black Box is right there, right there, to snatch Keke's race win off him. 14% of EOS. He's low on fuel, Keke, as well. That is concerning. There's Black Box now. Jona, is he going to force the move in towards turn number 11? He does. Puts him at a real bad prospect though, coming out the corner, and Jensen's away out of the corner faster. Here comes Black Box though on the back of Keke. This needed potentially to take what is valuable 30 points to the inside line in the feature race. In towards turn number 12, dives into the inside line. Keke locks up. Keke's still there on the outside line. Comes nearly across on him. Black Box through and he's into the lead. Great racing. Wing mirrors apart, the McLaren through on the Mercedes. Jensen now looking to the inside line, and he might go for second to the inside line. He doesn't really need this position, but Keke is still there. Keke's running very low on fuel. Jensen out to the outside line of 16, 17 and 18. Absolutely flies it around the outside line. This will be remarkable. Can he pull it off? Yes, he can. And now Jona's coming out of this as well. Black Box will take the win. It's 3 wide nearly into the final couple of corners. Black Box, though, to the final corner, wins the race. Jensen wins the war for second. Keke in third. Jona in fourth. 1/10 of a second. That would have been different if Jona forced the move to the inside line. Oh my word, what a race. Absolutely incredible. We might have not had the amount of drivers. We might have had a low attendance. We might have even had a very remonstrable race in the sprint. But the feature race, those 4 guys made up for it. And my word, wow. I'm really impressed, is what I'm just going to say. Absolutely impressed. Tom, by the way, coming to the final couple of corners. Fastest lap is a 35.232. I think he's going to comfortably beat that, Tom. Yeah, 34.7, I think that was. Takes the fastest lap, takes an extra point, and gets 16 points instead of just 15. I think he's picking up for that 5th position. Driver of the day, all the Birmingham fans. Quite rightfully so. I think Jensen takes driver of the day. certainly by the in-game fans. Not sure if he takes my drive of the day, though. I think they all deserve drive of the day after that. My word, absolutely unbelievable. Phenomenal ending. Phenomenal ending. Absolutely. Just wow. The skill of driving, the racecraft on show in that feature race. Sprint race you can ignore. Feature race, absolutely brilliant. And from that perspective, I really hope you enjoyed that race. And if you did, I hope you like, comment, subscribe. If it's your first time, tick that notification bell if you're brand new. I hope we're going to get more action for TML F1 this season. That race might have just put it maybe out of reach. But my word, what a race. Absolutely incredible. And I can only thank every single one of these drivers who've turned up in the first place to race. And I can only thank every single one of these guys for putting on a show. The front four, especially in the feature. Absolutely fantastic. And Black Box wins the war out on track from Felix. Sorry, not Felix in second. There is the feature race results. Black Box and Jensen. In terms of keeping clean out on track, Black Box takes the win from Jensen in second, Keki there in third, Yona there in fourth, Tom there in fifth. The 5 finishers out on track. Tom, name changer, Burmeister, Harry Banks, Macho and Felix. The 11 drivers, 6 of them DNFing. I'm not sure if they will pick up points. I will have a quiet word in the background to see if they do want to pick up points, or if we can give them points as a result because of them attending. What I am going to do, though, is get across the invites into the interviews, because we are going to have interviews from Jensen and Black Box, and I believe Keki was also in there. I think Keki, I don't think he normally attends, but we'll give it a go anyways. We'll give it a go, see how he fares. That's if he does, of course. But great racing out on track. Tom saying he had a very fun first half of the race. Don't blame him, to be honest. I do not blame him whatsoever. In the end, real quality racing. The 4 guys that obviously led on to the final couple of laps of the race put on an absolute show. I thank each and every one of them for having to put on that show. We can now speak to the man who finished and won that race in P1. It is Black Box, and Black Box, despite the attendance, despite everything that went against TML F1, what a feature race and what a final couple of laps. Yeah, and what a show it was. What a show it was. And to be fair, I've commentated on my fair share of races and 10 years of league racing commentary. And back in F1 2012, I was saying at the start of the stream, we had, 16-player lobbies. We've come a long way since 16-player lobbies. And it reminded me a bit like the good old days, back on the F1 2012s, the F1 2013s, where there's hardly any people. And there was still very fair racing. And honestly, that from you and Jensen and from Keki and Yona in the final couple laps was absolutely brilliant. Thank you to you all for putting on a show tonight, and I'm sure the viewers will agree as well. But talk us through your race, because in the end, it wasn't easy. Keki had 6 seconds worth of penalties ahead of you, but put up a real stoic defence and wanted to try and fight for every inch of track. Yeah, very happy indeed, and it was a solid drive, obviously, from your perspective. Solid battling as well out on track. Would you want to see more of that going forward in TML F1? Because, honestly, the last 2-3 races have been cancelled, and we've literally said, when is TML F1 going to come back? I didn't even know when it was going to come back. And that battle, I think, just comes to show what people are missing out on, I think, in TML F1 this season. It is, yep. Yeah, and hopefully we will have a race next week, and hopefully there is a good attendance next week as well. And speaking of next week, it says it's to be confirmed. I know for a fine fact, though, it is Monza, as voted for by you F1 and F2 drivers. It is Monza next week. If we do get a race around there, how do you think the racing's going to be around there? Because normally it's a track pretty similar to the Circuit of the Americas, where it's a lot of overtaking, a lot of good straight, and hopefully a lot of good battling. I hope. Well, I hope he won't be. I hope he won't be. I hope he'd be right on your rear end, really pushing you to the limit, because that's what we like to see. And obviously, a big congratulations, if I didn't say already, on Monday, of course, for PSGL F2, taking that race win, following up the form here, of course, in TML F1 tonight. Go and enjoy your evening. You are very welcome indeed. We can now speak to the man who had an absolute dire sprint race, which I'm sure he doesn't want to talk about, but finishing in second in the feature race. It is Mr. Jensen. And Jensen, from the woes of the sprint race to that performance in the feature, you must be very happy how you've came back in the second half there.
Yeah, starting to find some form now. 2 weeks on the new wheel, and I'd say I'm now starting to either match or start to beat my old pace. So, starting to get somewhere. But yeah, that was like, it just shows that race that it doesn't matter how many drivers you have, it's about the drivers that make the racing so special. And yeah, that was really good with Yona, Blackbox and Keke as well. Yeah, just everything in that feature race was like, I couldn't keep a smile off my face in that one. Yeah, it was so good. Enjoyed my Thursday night that I got to drive, because I don't know if I'll be able to drive next week, but yeah, I'm glad I got to drive this week, because that was a really good one.
Yeah, it's a full-on, I think, experience that we had, and honestly, the sole reason why we actually came ahead tonight is because of the level of drivers that we're actually going to be racing. As Jensen mentioned, it doesn't matter how many drivers you got, it's always quality over quantity at the end of the day, and that is what I think I live by in league racing, and I hope other leagues follow the same path, because never mind how many drivers we have, you have the quality of drivers, you get a battle like that in the feature race. It was just phenomenal from your perspective as well.
I managed to get 4 drivers racing tonight, so I got Macho, Keke, I reminded Tom as well, and convinced Blackbox to try and make it home and do it as well. And yeah, we still got 11 drivers, which was pretty disappointing, but the racing did definitely, I'm sure it didn't disappoint you, James. I'm sure like that was probably more entertaining than most like PSGL PCF1 races, to be honest. Where they just don't move.
Honestly, it was brilliant. Honestly, it was brilliant. And me being little old me by myself in the commentary box, I thoroughly enjoyed that. It was fantastic to watch, not only from a league director perspective, but also from a comms perspective. As I say, the best drivers on the PS platform here in TML F1, absolutely phenomenal showing from you all. Talk us through, though, that sprint race. What on earth happened in that sprint race? Because I think you got collected, if I'm not mistaken, or just made a mistake or something.
Like on lap 1, I just tried to make my way through. Then I think Jonah and the Haas, that Harry Banks mate, like had a little collision, so I went on the outside, which then turned to the inside for the next corner, and like I just understeered into him, and then like got collected. My half spin put me into the wall and gave me red end plate damage, which is a shame because if I didn't pick up damage, I probably could have fought for like P7, P6, where Tom Blackbox and that lot were. But yeah, I mean, in the end, like I knew we had the feature race as well to race, so yeah. I mean, in the end, overall P2, not too bad, given that like P1 is going to be esports challenges, and like Keke was almost esports challenges. Jonah's like suddenly come out of nowhere at the pace as well, so yeah. But just look into the future now. Hopefully just keep on getting quicker and quicker, and like PSGL hopefully start putting points on the board there, because definitely starting to show the pace in my opinion. But yeah, we'll see how we go.
Yeah, definitely so. And obviously following up from EML Premier 1 last night as well, which I wasn't really the fan of the Shazoo tactics, to be honest. I'm just going to say it out loud.
Well, what we can say, like it was done before in EML, I'm pretty sure, by a so-called team. Yeah, and yeah, like I don't know how that's gonna play out, but I mean, yeah, that was very nice to finally pick up another win, like in a top tier event like EML as well. It's pretty good. Whether that stays or not, hopefully it does, but we'll see. But yeah, but it definitely indicates well to the future. But yeah, there's not much else to say other than that. And yeah, congrats to Black Box, of course, as well for the win. Really shown levels this game at the moment. But yeah, unlucky to everyone else who died in that race. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't fun seeing five drivers out on track. Trust me.
We had 11 drivers, and yeah, half the grid retired, over half the grid.
And I literally said in commentary, like 14 points was the maximum that P6 could have picked up, and then five drivers going. It's maximum points P. 15
the thing
points.
is, though, I think most people in that race were here for the racing, not really the championship. Yeah. I'm here for the I'm not really interested in the championship. I mean, I was when I could have drove every week, but now I'm just here to drive, have a bit of fun. If I have a free night, so yeah.
Yeah, and obviously I know you've already mentioned that you're not going to be making, or you don't think you're going to be making next week, of course, in Brazil. But if you are going to make it, how do you think you're going to get on around there? Because it is a track that, in the past, Brazil? You've had a very much a love-hate relationship with.
Brazil? I thought you said Monza.
Monza, sorry. Yeah, Monza. Yeah, ignore me. Brazil's the week after, I think.
Well, I've only done one race at Monza and TML, and yeah, I definitely want to forget that. It's where I lost the championship to Desync and all that shit. So yeah, yeah, if I was going to race that, I mean, I've definitely got the pace at Monza, but in the race, I don't know. I just seem to get really unlucky with whatever it is. But yeah, if I do race, hopefully it could be something like tonight, but I think it'll be more like a train if we go to Monza. So
yeah, hopefully it will be, and hopefully, as I say, we do get really good racing around there. Monza is probably not everyone's favourite track, let's just face it, in TML, but hopefully they can take all of that on board, and hopefully we can take all of that on board, go forward united, and hopefully have TML F1 once again next week. Go and enjoy your evening, Jensen.
Thank you, and cheers for the commentary as well, even though it was solo, but you
You are very welcome. See, I put my life on limb, quite literally, in terms of commentary, and yeah, hopefully we'll get somewhere, and hopefully PSGL F1 comes my way as well. Jess, if you're listening, I'm sorry. But anyways, that marks the end of tonight for TML F1. I really hope you did enjoy the stream. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. 2 bits of action for you tomorrow night on League Racing TV. First up, of course, it is the most important one, TML F2. It should be myself and Mike in the commentary box alongside each other, and we'll bring you the action, of course, at 8 PM UK time, and then at 9 PM UK time, just as F2 is finishing, we have got the first round of the Esports Challenge Cup, with Shazoo, of course, participating in that as well. Miltos Kaufalidis and Lars Butterman representing them. I know from the Shazoo perspective, Kevin in there as the reserve, just a random Kevin, not sure who that Kevin is, but it's a Kevin anyways, the reserve man for the Shazoo team. I'm not sure what I heard there from Jensen.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. The GOAT. Yes. Okay. I really need to get myself versed in the PC.
What track is it for Esports Cup in tomorrow?
It is, let me tell you, Bahrain.
Oh god. We hope Kevin races. I know Kevin's very fast around there, but yeah. Miltos and Lars, if you're hearing this, you gotta smash it tomorrow. Beat everyone, and yeah.
Yeah. It'll probably be 10, because I think we're getting rid of Singapore and Netherlands.
I mean, at the moment you're getting beaten by TF Lynx, so...
You're not. You're not. 60 points, but Felix took points in the sprint and he's now leading the championship.
No. Inspirational. George Morgan, mate.
Yeah, Mr. Morgan and Mr. McGinley this season. To be fair, I do have one thing in common with at least one of them. I've actually commentated alongside Kieran McGinley, who's doing esports challenges, so that's what I can say on my record. But... Exactly, and then you just see me on a Thursday doing a little unknown league called TML F1.
Bro, he's done 100 interviews with me, I swear.
You know, you get sick of me after a while. I really swear you do get sick of me after a while. As I'm sure our viewers are getting very sick of this stream still going as well. So we're gonna end it off here. It's totally fine. It is totally fine. But as I say, Esports Challenge Cup tomorrow night on the PC side, powered of course by ET8, who are the main sponsors of course for EML going forward as well. They are gonna be participating in that along with, and I need to get the driver lineup up. Or the information up, actually. In Ferrari, it is Talent Factory. In Red Bull, it is F1 Friends Cup. In Mercedes, it's Team TF10. McLaren, represented by FBR. Alpine are ET8. Haas are Valor Gaming. Alfa Romeo are Team Shazoo. AlphaTauri are TTL Esports. Williams are for NLR Esports. And Aston Martin in for Team QRT. So if you do want to tune in for the action, Nathan Richie, of course, a PSGL F2 commentator on the PC side, and my PSGL F2 co-coms. More games going to be taken to the action. Connell Moore, of course, taken to the action tomorrow night, and that is at 9 PM UK time. For you young'uns, yes, that is very late, but I hope you can watch it anyways. We are going to end it off here, though. Big thank you, of course, our interviewees of Black Box and Jensen. Much appreciated, of course, as always, guys. And we will end off the stream here. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow for TML F2 and, indeed, for Esports Challenge Cup. Until then, I've been James Head. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.